Good evening and welcome to Wednesday night show. Tonight I do have George and Natalie joining me. Welcome to the show, you
Hey,
two.
how are you?
George is going to be here tonight to discuss the Premiership matches for the weekend and how brilliant Arsenal did on Sunday. And Natalie will be here to talk about craft ideas for winter and coming into the summer. We are live, so if you want to go onto the lives group and comment, you're more than welcome to. So that is the lives group on the WhatsApp. If you comment on the Facebook or the YouTube, I will answer those afterwards. But the show tonight is going to be normal COVID news and news headlines, what's going on in twos, and your food finds, and then the other bits that we spoke about already. So we're going to start the show off with the twos news and the COVID update. So cases today 129,587. So they are still high, but they're not as high as they were. So I'm going to ask George and Natalie for their comments on that one.
I think, well, they're kind of plateauing a little, aren't they?
They are a little bit, yeah.
I don't know. I think. No, I don't know. I kind of, because most people are vaccinated and things like that. Do we go into the thing where, like you used to at school, if somebody's got the measles, get everybody to get over with it and get it done?
Now I see what you're saying, George. Your opinion on this one?
I think we've just got to try and push forward with the vaccines and the boosters. To be honest, we're not going back into a lockdown again, and the proof of that is because of over Christmas and New Year. If we was going to do it, it would have been then.
Yeah, I do agree with that one.
The only reason the hospitals are being overrun is because staff are catching it. It's not technically because obviously staff have to isolate, don't they? But
I agree and disagree with you on that one because I'll be coming on to the figures for that one in a bit. So
I don't know. I'm one of these people that I think you've just got to get on with it. What can you do? Really, the cases are not going anywhere.
No, I do agree with you. We do need to get on and just sort of get on with it. But my argument on this one is how can we get on with it when the government hasn't actually put any medication? Like if you've got flu, you can go and get sort of like flu tablets or something like that.
Okay, my thing on this one is they have contacted all the clinically vulnerable people because I've had a letter, and basically what they're doing, they've sent me out 3 PCR tests.
Right.
And if I feel I have it, I take the first test. If it comes back negative in 3 days' time and I'm still not very well, I take another test. If that's positive, they then send me out some antiviral tablets.
Right, I understand that, but they admitted last week they're not sure if antibiotics work with COVID.
No, they're not antibiotics, they're antiviral tablets. The new one.
I don't know. I'm not being rude to anyone who listens to the government after what's come out recently.
Well, yeah, that's the first headline. That is the first headline.
I just think you've got to do what you've got to do individually. There's no one here that can say what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
No, I totally agree on that one.
I didn't go football all over the week. The couple of weeks on Christmas because I took it upon myself. I didn't want to ruin Christmas because you'd catch COVID. Christmas is finished.
Exactly.
New Year.
Yeah.
But I'm doing tests near enough every other day now when I go. I've had my booster. I had my booster yesterday. I've been doing the sleeping today, to be fair. But I don't know. I was talking to actually someone on the train, like the assistants people on the tube,
Yeah,
and he was saying since the 27th of December, as every day's gone on, the people wearing masks between the age of 18 and 28 has got less and less every day.
Yeah.
yeah, I do get that. No,
And I just think, like, it's not rocket science. Like, the government can say what they want to say, scientists can say what they want to say. It's common sense. Wear a mask, use sanitizer for your hands. So don't.
Hands, face,
I don't think that's much to ask.
no, it's not. Well, today's figures for the deaths and in hospitals, the deaths were 397. So they've
So
gone up.
this is what don't make sense to me. That for ages, even though when we had the 200,000 cases,
Yes.
the deaths were the same or similar amount. So to when it was lower,
Yeah. And
but
now,
obviously that's quite high.
and now the
like the
figures,
Which deaths are always going to be behind, aren't they?
that's actually up to today. So they've actually got figures up till today.
No, I mean they're behind the figures as such.
Oh, yeah.
So because obviously it takes longer.
I'd like to know like how many are unvaccinated, and you've got to think a lot of people do have underlying health conditions.
Yeah. And then in
Yeah.
hospital, it's over the 2,000 mark now. So it's 2,049. This time last week, that was only around 500.
Is that just what do they call it, or is that Delta as well?
This is, the figures are literally all of them together.
Yeah.
But this time last week, it was around 500.
Yeah.
So that's gone up.
I just don't know how you get around it. Like that's just because like someone was saying to me, oh, but if in a few weeks you'll break the cut. But I don't think these cases are going down anywhere.
No.
Like to be honest, like I think we're still going to be in 100,000 when we get into May, June, July, that sort of time. If I'm honest.
I'm not being funny. Saturday and Sunday, their figures normally at weekends they go down, but on Saturday it was 147,000. On Sunday it was 145,000. They didn't go down at all.
I just think they're doing a impromptu herd immunity, but I honestly think that, like, not us, the government, like, because he's not really doing. There's a lot, like, you look into it, it's money as well. Like, they're not going to lock us down because the amount of money it costs businesses to be finished.
Yeah, I do get that.
And if they was going to lock us down, it would have been Christmas.
See, this is the thing. What was you saying there, Natalie? Sorry.
I can't remember.
This is the thing, though. I know when I was on about restrictions over Christmas, I wasn't actually on about lockdown. I was like, not being funny, up in Scotland and Wales, they brought the 2 metre distance back in. They brought the masks being mandatory. Or, well, actually, the mask.
Never got rid of that personally.
Masks like, never gone from Scotland, but Wales it did. And then sort of they limited households, but you could still see. Sort of like it was. I think it was limits to 3 households.
This is the problem that people think everything's so black and white. So they quite a lot of people think, oh, if we have restrictions, that's lockdown. No, it's not.
No.
Like, you can, like, I think if it was Wales, they had no crowds at sporting events. I don't know if that's been lifted now. I know something happened the other day, but with restrictions. But like the masks and the 2 metre,
yeah,
that should never have gone from this country, personally.
See, I've noticed I've noticed some companies have actually taken it upon themselves again. Some companies have put the plastic shields back up between checkouts. And bits like that they took down from once lockdown went last year, but they're back up again. I know.
So I went to football on Sunday in Nottingham, and the pubs we went into, they were only allowing up to 50 people in there, and they were separate, like, so they were doing their own sort of social distancing thing.
Yeah.
And you had to, they wasn't allowing you in unless you know, like, showing the COVID thing, and they don't have, like, the vaccine, so and then they don't have to do that. But
no, I know
there's a lot of places doing that.
I know my local did turn around and say that if they brought back in restrictions, because there was that one that they were on about table service, but he actually turned around and said he's closing due to his staff safety. Because the reason being, and I do actually get what he's saying when you think about it logically.
Everyone forgets about that.
Because if you've got a table of 6 and you've got one bar staff going to that table of 6 3 times, one to get their order, one to take the drinks, and then one to take payment. Now, if that table of 6 come up,
16 times that's getting them.
yeah, if that table of 6 come up to the bar, not all 6 will go to the bar.
No,
No.
one of them would.
1 or 2.
No, I get that.
And he turned around, and Mark turned around and said at the time, he said it's easier to put a shield up at the bar to protect my staff and let them come up to the bar. So
Yeah.
I actually think that is quite a fair argument on his
I was
side.
talking to a barmaid that I know in my local, and she was saying that and that was a Wetherspoons, and she was saying that no one thinks, oh yeah, we say like do table service, but we've still got to go backwards and forwards around these people. If they've got it or got something, they're still running the risk. And when you don't, if I'm honest, I didn't really think about it like until she said, but it is true. Like whatever way you look at it, they've still got to come over to the thing, because even if you use the app, they've still got to bring it over, whereas you have to shield.
Exactly. So, but moving on to the news headlines, and the first one is Tory MPs pile pressure on PM. Boris Johnson will face MPs at Prime Minister's question time earlier today as public anger grows over his refusal to say whether he attended drinks event in the Downing Street Gardens. During the first lockdown, a major party donor and his own MPs are among those demanding that the PM come clean over whether he was present at the May 2020 gathering. Prominent Conservatives said it was appalling and utterly indefensible that the event took place. The Telegraph reports a poll has found that 66% of voters believe Johnson should resign over the scandal, which I thought was quite an interesting one. It's the second party that has now come to light, or second garden party that's come to light, because we know there was another gathering in Downing Street as well in December as well, wasn't there?
That was inside, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one was inside. He had the cheese and wine business meeting. And from what I heard earlier today, or early this evening, he has admitted he was there. Apparently, he was celebrating the birth of his child. Whether that gives
all right then.
So
don't worry about it. Don't worry, we were all in lockdown.
So he's not doing himself any favours.
He's still lying though. Because this is the problem. When things happen in secret, everybody talks to everyone. So everyone knows exactly what's going on. And if you actually listen to what certain people have said, him and what's her name? Is it Carrie?
Yes.
His wife, but they're kind of walking in, strolling around with bottles of whatever in their hand. You bring your own booze party. Shows how tight they are. They can't even supply the alcohol. It's not the first thing that Boris Johnson should have resigned over, is it?
No,
to be honest, it probably won't even be the last.
So, the second headline today: Boss warns of 2-year energy crisis. The chief executive of Centrica, which owns British Gas, has warned that soaring energy prices could last for up to 2 years. Chris O'Shea said there was no reason to expect gas prices would come down anytime soon. Instead, he told the BBC the market suggests the high gas prices will be here for the next 18 months to 2 years. His words dashed hopes that bills rising by more than 50% to about $2,000 a year would be short-lived.
Did you hear what the energy company said? No, I don't know what one it was. I only heard it briefly on the news. They've had to apologise because they told their customers to keep warm. They need to cuddle up to their pets. They had to send loads of apologetic emails out.
No, I hadn't heard that one, to be fair.
I'll try and find out what the name of the energy company was, but it was on ITV News yesterday.
Yeah, no.
I was like, imagine getting an email like that. You'd be like,
exactly.
What?
Yeah, no, it's mad, that one. How they can actually say that, I don't know, but
it wasn't one. It wasn't like the main two. It was the third, like whatever the one beneath the other two are. I can't remember its name, but yeah, it was.
So that's that.
Well, that's all over the place, really. Like if you think like gas and gas and energy stuff, like 50%, you think
Yes.
that's a lot. That's a lot. I know they've got to catch
What
up
the
with
bloody
inflation and stuff.
Just before you carry on there, Emmy has commented on the Boris Johnson one. He's admitted now, but claims he thought it was a bit work event. I'd love to work an event where bring your own booze as part of the job description.
I might apply for a job to work on the government.
So yes,
Makes me laugh. Everyone jumped on Dominic Cummings and Hancock for doing what they've done.
At least he went up. Well, not being funny, when Dominic Cummings went, at least he went on his own in the car.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I don't know. It's just not, like I said, it's not the first time that Boris Johnson's done something he shouldn't, is it?
no, it's not.
And it was actually nice to see the Labour person, I can't think of his name.
Well, it was her. Is that her?
Her.
Yeah.
No, it's not Starmer, is it? But it's the one covering for Keir Starmer.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
They actually had the balls to actually say what they really thought instead of flip-flopping like 1 minute. So
Yeah.
it was nice to Boris Johnson to be put on the spot because he has to be.
Yep. So the next headline is smart motorways paused for checks. The government said it has paused new all-lane running smart motorways until their safety is assessed. Letting drivers use the hard shoulders as another lane increases capacity, but campaigners said it has contributed to road deaths. 5 years.
What the hell's a smart motorway?
I'll tell you about this one in a minute. It's quite amusing. But campaigners said it has contributed to road deaths. 5 years of safety and economic data for the schemes will now be collected. Hard shoulders will not be reinstated on current stretches of all lane running motorways. Right, the smart motorways, it's I know the M3 going down to the southwest is one. I think part of the M6 going up north is one. It's where they've taken the hard shoulder out, but every 1.5 miles you've got a lay-by. So basically, you've got to decide. You've got to tell your car it's not allowed to break down yet. It's got to wait for a little bit till it gets to this lay-by.
Very smart.
So, but in fairness, it has it has caused problems. I know that because if you do break down, you can't just go over to the hard shoulder like you used to be able to. Basically, what the new rules are is you're supposed to just sit in your lane, and when you're on the motorway, you now have free recovery. So all these cameras, which are good, don't get me wrong, but if a camera goes, and you could be sitting there for hours, because if a camera...
Obviously, I'm saying this from someone who can't see his point of view, so I might be talking absolute rubbish, so obviously you'll know where you can see a bit. But taking a hard shoulder out, isn't that more chance of crashing a car?
Yes. And that's what this is. That's what this new report is about.
Because obviously they don't know where to stop, are they?
But also, the hard shoulder used to be there for the emergency services if they had attending a crash down the motorway, which now they haven't got a hard shoulder to be able to do that.
No.
So it's
makes sense.
So there's that one, and then the final headline. But I have got a funny story as well, which I saw on the news. Well, it's social media news. I saw this one; it made me laugh as well. But this one before that one, cash levels lowest for 8 years. Households in the UK have suffered the sharp fall in available cash for almost 8 years, reported The Guardian. Amid a worsening cost of living crisis driven by high inflation and rising energy bills, a study found that increasing living costs at the end of last year hit people's pockets and led to the steepest decline in cash available since the start of 2014. With inflation at the highest level in a decade, the government is under pressure to act on living standards. So another thing the government are actually under fire for at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone likes them at the minute.
Yeah. To be fair, the only thing I've noticed at the moment is a slight rise in energy bills, but other than that, I haven't noticed a lot. So
problem is with the amount of money that we've had to fork out because of furlough and stuff like that, and just in general going for a pandemic, it's just going to have to all catch up soon. So, like,
Yeah.
being in debt, so things are going to go up.
Yes,
So it's just,
exactly. But a bit of funny news disappeared in an American state, and when I saw it, I had to add it in. A road sign went up. Caution: water on road during rain.
Yeah.
okay. Groundbreaking stuff.
Okay.
I just saw it and I thought that was quite amusing, to be fair, and I thought I'll put a bit of lighting on the news side of things, because
That's like saying icy roads in snowy conditions.
exactly.
It's like when they do the football commentating when Michael Owen says, well, to win a game, you've got to score.
Well, yeah, that's a bit obvious.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, so what's on twos? Well, tonight we have guest the intro with Sarah starting at 8:30 in the main group. A slight change to the schedule on Friday. I was going to be doing a Friday night race night, but I'm actually going to do a Friday afternoon race afternoon because I'm actually at work Saturday morning. So that's a slight change to the schedule this week. And then on Saturday, we've got our quiz night on Discord, which I'd like to see as many people as there as possible because that should be a really good night. I know that's being promoted through social media and our groups at the moment. The website that is up and running, it has been revamped, and you do need to register when you go on it. So, but it does look good. I know George has used it.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler to get to when you want to do your predictions and stuff, and with the other activities that we have. So,
And talking about
definitely recommend it.
And talking about predictions, your Saturday football will be up on the website on Friday afternoon. And then we have got our birthday coming up on Saturday, the 29th of January. So we're going to have a complete day. So if anybody wants to join in on that, let us know. So there's a few things.
Fun.
Exactly. So there's a few things coming up, which is good. So there's lots of work going on in the background and lots of things to see how we can improve. So we are working on that. If anybody's got any ideas for any of the groups that you're in, any ideas that you think you could bring more to the group, then please either let the management know or of that specific group know, or let myself know, and we will see what we can sort. So that's definitely worth looking at. One of the favourite parts of the show, food finds. Quite some interesting. I know the Friday there's not as many as there was on Monday, but then
There's a lot there, wasn't there?
There was, yes, but we've got a few tonight. The first one is white chocolate and honeycomb cheesecake.
Nom.
Sounded nice until you said the honeycomb bit.
So I think that was in Asda.
I think Iceland do one as well.
Yeah.
So that's still part of like the festive.
No, I think this is the New Year one now.
Oh.
And then Sainsbury's are now doing quality Matchmakers zingy orange cookies. Not sure on those personally.
No.
I'm sure that would be just like chocolate orange, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I think it probably
It's in a different shape.
Yeah. But sticking with Asda as well, you've got the Neapolitan Bakewell tarts now as well.
No, that's interesting.
So that would be, yeah, might have to try and find those. With sweet chocolate sauce, vanilla flavour and sponge, and a strawberry flavour fondant topped with sprinkles. There you go. Interesting, is what I'm going to say to that.
Not very obscure.
Yeah. And then Magnum have brought out another ice cream, a sweet and salty almond. So that's another one that we found today. And I think the next one is the last one. which is the Dairy Milk Chopped Hazelnut Easter egg. So we are coming across a lot of the Easter eggs, but this one is actually, it's got the nuts in the shell of the egg this year.
No, we're talking about Easter already.
I know.
No, it's very funny. Like, so on Boxing Day,
Yes.
sorry, day after Boxing Day, my brother went to the shop. He went to obviously back to work because he works at Morrison's, and they were saying like talking about Easter then, and I was just like, wow.
Well, Morrison's, I know, because as you know, I work there as well.
Yeah,
Their warehouse and the shops actually started getting Easter eggs in November.
yeah.
So ready to
Always
go
good
out.
to be prepared, I suppose.
Yeah, ready to go out in January.
The
So
way this country is, and with its panic buying.
and that's just George with the chocolate.
Yeah.
So
And the Easter eggs.
right, so we are moving over to George now with the football for the weekend. So we've
Well, we
got.
don't need to talk about last weekend, so we'll move straight on to this weekend.
It was a fantastic weekend last weekend. Newcastle lost, and of course Nottingham Forest won. So
Yeah, can't remember who they played.
so I don't even think they
obviously.
turned up, but only the fans.
No, only half of them, no.
I believe Arsenal lost as well, didn't they, George?
That's what we're on about. Nottingham Forest beat Arsenal.
Oh no,
Yeah, we thought we'd let someone else win it for a little while. So obviously
Good game.
at the FA Cup game, so Newcastle lost to Cambridge, which was really good. Arsenal lost to Nottingham Forest, which was good for Forest. We just didn't turn up. We didn't deserve nothing from it, so you can't really say much more than that, really. Best team won. It was also good to see Bournemouth
Yeah.
when they got to the fourth round for the first time ever, and Kidderminster Harriers,
I was gonna
lowest
say, yes.
team, beat Reading. So it's still, I like, obviously when it's not my team, but I like it when there's upsets because it still shows the magic of the FA Cup, especially with the Champions League and all that. Money's took over football, but it's still nice to see. And what was amazing was not one FA Cup game got called off.
No.
Amazing that, isn't it?
So, but talking of the matches this weekend, so the first one starts on Friday. And you've got
Brighton Palace,
Brighton and Hove versus Crystal Palace. What are your predictions for that one?
I think Palace have just edged up.
Natalie?
Palace, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that'd be Palace.
Yeah.
But then going on to Saturday, the early match is Man City versus Chelsea. Now, I think that would be quite an interesting match.
I think it will. Actually.
I think the title race is over already, personally, but I think City might edge that.
Yeah, and then you've got Burnley versus Leicester.
Leicester.
I was going to say Leicester, yeah. Newcastle versus Watford. Well, I definitely think Watford on that one.
I hope Watford, but
Norwich City versus Everton.
Norwich.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think Everton might do that one, to be fair.
Everton are quite poor.
I think I'll go for Everton.
They're both poor, to be fair.
And Natalie, I just heard Natalie say she'll go Everton on that one. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Southampton.
Ooh.
I think that'll be a draw.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that one would be a draw.
Yeah, I was going to say probably draw that.
Southampton won last night, which was good for them. They
Yes.
got 4-1, so.
And then you've got Aston Villa versus Man United.
Villa.
Yep. I've got to
I
admit,
don't like Man United.
Gerrard is doing a good job there as well.
They've just signed Coutinho as well.
So, yes.
Aston Villa, who used to play for Liverpool, so
Yeah.
that'll be interesting how he does. And they used to play together, Gerrard and Coutinho.
Yes, they did, yes. And then on Sunday, we have Liverpool versus Brentford. I do think Liverpool will do that one.
Liverpool, even though
you would hope
they've got a few people out.
Yes. And then you've got West Ham versus Leeds.
West Ham.
Ooh. West Ham.
And then you've got the North London derby, Tottenham versus Arsenal.
Arsenal going to
Arsenal.
smash them.
Well, Arsenal are going to be on a comeback because they got beat by Nottingham Forest. So,
Yeah.
Problem we've got is we ain't hardly got a midfield because of COVID and like African Cup of Nations. They need to try and buy someone. So
yes.
it's gonna like it all depends. In the game we've got tomorrow against you lot and in the cup and the Tottenham game,
Yeah.
if they can try and negotiate that, then we've got a chance because we've been playing well. Like we played Man City the week before and we were robbed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We've got the January transfer window open at the moment, so I think some teams are going to try and buy players to make themselves have a better team.
Have you got any tips for this weekend for fantasy football?
Don't pick people like Reece James because he's injured. Just kind of keep looking around for the cheaper options. Like if you like, and that Chris Wood signing for Newcastle, I know not many people think they're going to do much, but if Newcastle are going to score, it'll be through him.
Yeah.
Obviously, remember that there's no African players at the minute because of the African nation. So people like Salah, Mane, Mahrez, Mendy, all them that are out till next month. So if you have got them, it's probably best to get rid and either bring them back when you can or just replace them. There's no point having them on the bench.
No.
And just hope because they're just like they're back. I think the second week in February. So.
Right.
And I'd say that was it, David. To be fair,
Okay.
there's not much else really.
I will be having a look.
It all depends because games can get called off, don't
Exactly.
they? So,
Yeah. I'll be having a look
and
at
if you
mine.
bring
Probably,
people in, and
probably Friday Friday. I'll have a look at mine.
I think it's a 6:30 deadline.
Yeah. So.
And obviously just keep an eye at like if you're following us on Twitter, keep an eye out on there because the headline news from fantasy football does go on there.
Cool. We're moving over to Natalie now with a new part of the show that we've brought along now, which is craft ideas from Natalie. So I'm going to hand over to you, Natalie.
Why, thank you. So there's so many different crafts you can do, especially in the winter, that involve keeping warm, staying indoors, and doing things, in your house, in your bedroom, in your garage, whatever. Such as sewing. You can do. I've been making blankets and like quilted blankets, things like that. And so easy to do as well. And cheap. Because you can use stuff you've already got. You can use old sheets. You can use old blankets. Cut them up, sew them back together, but in different ways. You can also make rugs. And I know Sarah knows lots about the I think it's called latch work with rugs.
Latch hook.
Latch hook, that's it.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember that second word. And she loves doing that. I haven't done that, so I can't tell you much about that one. But you've got knitting, crocheting.
Which I know Kelly does. I know Kelly does a lot of crocheting.
She does. Yeah. I'm just trying to teach myself how to crochet because I've never done it before and I want to. So I've got loads of stuff and I'm just trying to teach myself how to do it. And you can teach yourself, be taught by watching a lot of the YouTube videos.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of them are so descriptive. And if you contact the person from them, click on contact them. If there's something you don't understand, ask them.
Makes
they put
sense,
the video up for a reason, so it's because they want people to know how to do it. There's also making your own jewellery ready for the summer when you're getting out and go around the pub and, well, go around the pub anyway, but you know, making your own bracelets, necklaces, anklets, earrings, nose rings, make them too, lip rings, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
All that kind of body jewellery stuff. All again, quite inexpensive to make. It can be, anyway,
Yes.
if you don't buy the real stuff.
I was going to say, it depends where you buy it from, because it can be inexpensive,
Yeah.
but it can also be expensive if you want it to be a decent piece of jewellery.
Yeah, if you're excuse me, sorry, if you're buying, you know, proper sterling silver clasps, things like that, 9 carat gold clasps, it's going to cost a fortune. If you buy stainless steel or metal of some sort, it's not going to cost you a fortune. Then you have to think, if you're giving it to somebody, would they be allergic to what you're giving them and things like that?
Yeah.
So, you know, it depends what you want, what money you've got, and what time you've got, basically.
So, but
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a few ideas for people out there, and if you do want to know more, then message the Facebook page, and we will get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from me. George, have you got anything else?
No, not today.
Natalie?
No, just if anyone wants any help with anything, just get in touch with us.
Yep.
Yeah, just echo that really.
So, and thank you for watching.